hello munchkins and creepy people. So a not exactly music literate friend asked me a guitar question, and I mean, I don't really know how to play guitar. I know the basics, but I don't practice. So, you know, I explained that, and then he's like, yeah, but you play violin. Violin has strings, right? It's so different. Okay, first of all, what shall I say first of all? Okay, here's my violin. It's a 5 string, so it has 1 string extra than a regular violin, which means I can play viola. It's got the C down there. I don't know if it's in tune. C, G, D, A, E. So it's tuned in fifths. Guitars are tuned in fourths. Mostly, there's like 1 string that's a bit different. And then it depends whether or not you're doing drop tuning or whatever. But yeah, so this is a violin, basic kind of shape. It's a lot smaller than a guitar. Now, that there is a chin rest. Most violins have this. There are some newer electric violins where you don't use a chin rest or a shoulder rest. Yeah, so chin rest here, shoulder rest here. Not everyone uses a shoulder rest. I'm not at that level though. It means that you have to support it more with your hand, this hand. And I don't really know how they do it. I can't do it myself. But yeah, so when you're holding a violin, you put your chin on the chin rest, and the shoulder rest goes on your shoulder. Kind of obvious. So if you get all nice and comfy, you don't need hands. Hey! Which means that you can free up this hand to do more crazy shit instead of having to hold it with that, which isn't very nice. Okay, and so while I'm here in this awkward position, playing violin is a very different angle to playing guitar. I mean, like, it's up on my shoulder, I have to tilt my neck like that. I'm looking down this way, this way, this way at the fingerboard. So the angle, like, you know, what I see when I'm putting my fingers down looks very different to what you would see if you just go up here. So, like, when I'm plucking away at my violin, I don't always know where to put my fingers to get things in tune, because it looks so different. I'm not used to seeing it from that angle. So, yeah, like that. You play it here. And then, I find, like, I mean, violin has no frets unless you get some fancy electric like that. What is it, the Viper? Oh my god, 7-string fretted electric violin. Wow. One day. But yeah, so, let's see. Because it's so hard to, like, you have to know exactly where things are. It's harder to learn where to put your fingers because there's no obvious guides. My teachers put sticky notes, and like these white lines and also little dots. I've got some dots in here that I keep when I'm doing high notes that I'm not familiar with, and I stick them on it. Kind of cheating, but sometimes I'm not sure, and also in a loud environment, sometimes I can't actually hear which note, and with violin you kind of have to hear it to make sure it's in tune. But if it's not, and you can see exactly where you're meant to go, that kind of helps. I mean, you've got to hope that your violin is in tune in the first place, but, yeah, after that it should be in the right place, wherever. Okay, so, I guess that's the body of the instrument thing. Also, I find, I mean, I'm not a talented violinist. I didn't get very far, because I didn't like to practice, and I'm more into weird experimental shit. But yeah, so, because it's tuned in fifths, on each string in first position, which it means that your first finger is like here, where the first finger usually goes. So second position would be where your second finger usually goes, is your first finger. Third position would be where your third finger usually goes, is your first finger. Does that make sense? And fourth, and you just keep going up. I mean, that's probably not even the right interval, I don't even know. Because I mostly play in first position, which is pretty easy. And I think it's easier to play a violin in first position because there are more notes because it's tuned in fifths, so, you know. Kind of thing. Whereas in a guitar, because it's tuned in fourths, you probably have to use more strings or you can go further up the scale. Also, here is a bow, which you generally don't play guitars with. Some people have done it. But this is the traditional way, is you use a bow. I've got a carbon fiber bow, which is a lot lighter, I think, and stronger. Like, more strength compared to weight. It's actually a viola bow because I have viola strings in mine, and you know I want my electric to be a little bit nastier in the sound, not delicate, because you know I'm a heavy metal band. Though it can do some of that. And so you get this sticky shit, which is rosin, and, you know, kind of like amber, I guess, but there are no flies in mine. Yeah, and you put that on, and that creates friction between the bow and the strings, that you actually hear the sound and the vibrations, blah, 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 blah. I'm sure someone can explain it better scientifically. I mean, like, I'm such an amateur, why am I even doing a video like this? But yeah, so get your thing up there. And with the guitar, you're plucking, strumming. With this, okay, you have a bow hold. Mine's probably a bit out of practice, but it's sort of basically like that. If you're a beginner, you can hold it on the little outside of the nut there. Can you see that? Okay, and it's sort of like, my teacher said, like a rabbit. So you're like, here comes the rabbit, coming to eat the bone. Wow! So, yeah. And then, so you kind of, you know, use your hand to balance it. That feels a bit awkward for me though, and I think you get more control if you put it in there. And then, yeah, my bow hold's a bit yucky, I can already see, but that's the basic idea. And then, you know, you wiggle it around, you get used to, you know, being able to hold it so that you can do more crazy shit, you know. You can hold sustained notes on a violin, you can do staccato, you can do pizzicato, you need to do it quick, kind of thing. Yeah, sorry, I can't plug in my amp because it's late. But yeah. And, you know, vibrato. I can't, I've got a case in front of me, so I can't bow all the way. It's a little bit awkward. But I mean, that's basics. There's really only one place to bow it. I mean, you can bow more one way or the other for different effects, but generally just in the middle. A lot of people who've tried to play violin, like I've let them play, they can't bow straight. It's kind of funny to watch, like it'll go, ooh. Yeah, that's funny. I guess I started early, so it's a bit more natural for me, but, you know, that's the basic. You shouldn't really ever touch a violin there because your oil on your hands, you know, ruins the friction and blah, 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 all the things my teacher says. You gotta have short nails so you don't bugger up the strings and whatever. I don't know, last classical teacher I had hated my old electric, you know, that old blue thing. Probably got a video of it still somewhere. And I'm just gonna lose my bow. And then I'll show you the guitar and how awkward it is for me to play. I don't practice it much, I like use it to write the basics of the song, and then I take it to the band, my band, and they make it cool. It's really just to have a basic idea of something and, you know, put some lyrics over it. Although the band I'm in at the moment, we've been writing, you know, sort of more complicated stuff, sort of just while we're in the room. It's not me writing something and then jazzing it up. It's, wow, crazy complicated stuff. So it's a bit tougher, and not all the lyrics are mine, so it's a little bit like, wow, I've got to work out how to sing that with my voice. Oh shit, I forgot to put the... I was so distracted talking. I have a little cloth to put over my violin. Oh, nice cloth. Okay. Violin gets treated nicely. I mean, guitars are kind of like the tough ones, you know, like boys, you just leave them out. And girls, the violins, you gotta put in, they're delicate. The strings cost a lot. I have a lot of spares. I don't have a spare E string, and I think that's the one that's gonna go first, which is annoying. But I've got all the others I got cheap when Alan's Music was closing down. But yeah, you could, for the same price as a violin string, a single string, you can get a whole set of guitar strings that are pretty okay, so, I don't know. Anyway, here's my guitar. We attempted to marry on Facebook once. And I have been dating my bass. No, I can't even get it in my hand. She's pretty cool. But, you know, it's funny. People like that status like crazy. For fake relationship status, anyway. Difference between bass and guitar, I guess, is bass is a lot lower, has big fucking strings, and usually only 4 strings, so you get a lot of 5 and 6 string basses, but 4 is the standard. yeah, it's really all you need unless you're doing some really heavy metal stuff. But yeah, and the frets are wider apart because it's just happens to be. Anyway, guitar, you can't even see the whole thing, it's too black. So mine's a Jackson, I think it's a Dinky JS1. Oh no, I just took whatever they told me. I said, I want a guitar that'll be good for metal. And they're like, yeah, it has the reverse head. Yeah, whatever. So, guitar, tuned in fourths mostly. Although, I tuned my bottom string as a fifth for the next one. Because I tuned it in drop C. So I think that's sort of changed. So that's a fourth. So that's a major third, I think. Yeah. Major third. Yeah, my music theory's doing alright. And then fourth. So I've just changed this. It's a C, I think. It's supposed to be a C, probably not a G. But okay, so already I'm holding the guitar this way. So that's like, it's actually a different angle from holding it like that. Which isn't really possible. It's so awkward with the guitar. It's too heavy and I can't do it like that. So instead of my hand being like that, it has to be more like this. And that just feels fucking awkward to me. And I can't do all these chord shapes. Like violin, you might play one note at a time, maybe two, because the strings are curved in such a way that it's easier to get two. It's a lot harder to get three strings at once. Whereas guitar, you're often playing chords and you have to do these fucking weird shapes. I remembered one. I put mine in drop C because then the bottom three, you just go, you just bar it across and it's already a power chord and you don't have to do any weird shapes. So that's how I write, is I'll be like, kind of thing. Yeah, and I just muck around and then give it to an actual guitarist and then they make it awesome instead of my like, there's one song where I'm just like, kind of thing. But yeah, and they kind of just laugh at that because it's so chug 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 and you know, they're much better at guitar than me, and they're just, what's it, virtuosic. That's how it looks to me. I'm not a good judge of guitar skill, but it's all better than me by far. So yeah, awkward angle for the hands, and then the chords and shit, it hurts. It actually hurts, like, in there when I do it too much. And, I mean, I've got a strap I can put on around me, it's like got flames and stuff, so that's how you hold. I mean, you can hold it just on your leg and all, but if you want to stand up, you put the strap on, and blah, blah, blah. But, like, the angle, it gets uncomfortable, so I'll shift it, like, you know, I'll have it on one leg, and then I'll shift it to the other leg, depending on what I'm doing, because it just doesn't feel comfortable to me. And then with this hand, you can fucking pick, and you're going like this. It's very different to this movement, which is the bow. It's like, and I don't have the same control, like, kind of thing. Or you can do finger picking, which I'm better at on bass. Like, bass is really, guitar, you'd be like using all of them. I just, fuck that. So yeah, it's just really different. I prefer the bass because bass you more play one note at a time. Ugh. It's just easier, you know, I don't have to think about as much stuff. Yeah, I like the bass, it's alright. That's why we were dating for a while. It's still a bit hard for me to get, you know, one string to play and not accidentally bump all the others, But, you know, I guess that's just a bit of practice. Also, these big strings. Oh my god. Doing. Doing. It's fun. Oh. Love it, love it, love it. But yeah. It's actually a really different thing. It's not. It's hard to go from one to the other. I mean, it's easier to find the notes on a guitar because of the frets. But also, like, just because they're different, I'm not used to seeing, like, for my first finger, right, if I think of it in violin terms, I think of it as a violin, okay, so that's where your first finger would be on a violin, that's the note it's playing, but if you're going to play a flat note, it would go down to there. I just think them as the same spacing when I'm playing violin, and I'm, like, either doing this one or the flat one, and then same with the two, a normal two, what I call a normal two, on a violin would be here. But if you're doing a flat two, it would be here. So, you know, but I don't think of it as if it has a fret there. So it took me a while, like, I'm looking at it, and you would automatically go, instead of, like, you know, it's just a different way of looking at it. It took me a little while to get that difference, you know, I'm actually looking at it like it's a keyboard, and that's like a black key, and then that'll be white and black, that kind of idea. Anyway, I'm sure I've ranted long enough. Oh, going out with a friend tomorrow, haven't seen her in ages, looking forward to it. Oh my god, I need to do some more lyric writing and things. Oh, hello, I'm back, I'm gone, I'm back. Yeah, no, I need to do some lyric writing. I think it's gonna be rainy this week, which is good, because the song's called Storm, and it's just been so fucking sunny and hot in Australia, in Sydney at least. I think it's been hot everywhere, actually. I know, like, in America, they've had that polar vortex thing. I could sure use a bit of one right now, but, you know, it's Australia, we don't get snow in Sydney, really. They haven't had it for, like, I don't know how many years. Not in my lifetime. But yeah, it's been all hot and sunny, and I'm like, how can I write storm, gloomy lyrics when it's just so bright and sunny outside? Like, even when I've been bummed, I'll either go to sleep, so I'm gonna stop soon. I'll go to sleep, or, if I actually feel awake, I'll go outside and enjoy the sun. It's just, you know, it's hard to get into that gloom, stormy mood. I've had issues, but it's not storm, you know? Anyway, so yeah. Got friends on Wednesday, and band on Wednesday, then working, and then next week it'll be back to AIM, and then busy again, and I might already have someone to record. That's gonna be interesting. Anyway, yeah, I better go. So, violin and guitar aren't the same. I hope I did an okay job explaining that.